Welcome back to CENTSHIFT, your trusted source for making sense of the money world. In today's episode, we explore a question that's on many Americans' minds. Why, even in a time of economic recovery, are so many still struggling financially? We'll break down the hidden pressures on everyday life in 2025 and what you can do to navigate them. From rent spikes to credit card burdens, this episode brings clarity to what's truly weighing on households across the country. Let's start with the cost of living, which remains the most visible pressure for millions of Americans. Despite government reports suggesting that inflation has cooled, the price tags in stores tell a different story. Grocery bills are still elevated, up 13% from pre-pandemic levels, and many families find themselves cutting back on essentials or relying more heavily on discount chains. In metropolitan areas, rents remain stubbornly high, often consuming more than a third of monthly income. Childcare expenses have soared, especially for working parents without access to subsidies. Healthcare premiums and copays continue to inch up, and public transportation costs have risen, particularly in cities where services have been reduced. At the same time, wages haven't kept pace with these rising costs. While the national average wage has increased by 3.5%, inflation has outstripped this gain in critical sectors such as retail, hospitality, and education. Many employees are stuck in stagnant positions without meaningful raises, while others turn to side gigs, freelancing, or multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. The tech sector, once a beacon of remote work opportunities, has become increasingly competitive, with fewer openings and stricter qualifications. This growing gap between earnings and living expenses creates a daily grind that feels unsustainable for many households. Debt looms large as an invisible weight on people's shoulders. Credit card balances have surged, recently surpassing $1.2 trillion in the United States. With interest rates climbing, many cards now carry APRs above 20%, making even minimum payments a challenge. The situation is especially dire for young adults, who not only have student loans but also face rising costs in nearly every area of life. Gen Z is reporting unprecedented levels of financial anxiety, some stemming from growing up during economic uncertainty and now magnified by the difficulties of adult life in 2025. Housing remains one of the most significant barriers to financial stability. The median home price in many urban and suburban areas continues to climb, keeping home ownership out of reach for most first-time buyers. Mortgage rates hovering above 6.5% add another layer of difficulty, especially for those without perfect credit. Meanwhile, renters are facing their own challenges, with rental increases outpacing wage growth and eviction rates rising in several states. Many temporary rental assistance programs that were introduced during the pandemic have now expired, leaving vulnerable families with limited support. Let's shift to the topic of savings, or rather the alarming lack of it. A Federal Reserve survey shows that nearly 60% of Americans would struggle to cover an unexpected $500 expense. The financial cushion that some built up during pandemic stimulus checks has long since vanished, replaced by new debt or rising bills. Many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, with no room to save, invest, or prepare for emergencies. This financial fragility adds to the broader stress people feel daily. Financial stress doesn't just affect wallets, it affects health, relationships, and mental well-being. Anxiety over bills, job security, and debt can lead to chronic stress, sleep disorders, and even physical ailments. Workers report feeling burned out more than ever before, And it's not just about long hours, it's about the feeling that no matter how hard they work, they can't seem to get ahead. This emotional toll is quietly eroding the quality of life across age groups and demographics. Student loan debt continues to haunt millions. While recent efforts toward forgiveness have helped some, the majority of borrowers still face large monthly payments. For those who didn't finish their degree, the burden is often even heavier. They owe money for an education that didn't translate into higher income. The average balance for federal loan borrowers now exceeds $37,000, and interest continues to accrue. This debt delays other major milestones like buying a home, starting a family, or investing for retirement. Consumer behavior is shifting noticeably. Discretionary spending is on the decline as people prioritize rent, groceries, and healthcare over non-essential items. Retailers are adjusting to a more cautious shopper, with major brands reporting lower in-store traffic and reduced cart sizes. Small businesses are feeling the squeeze especially hard, often lacking the resources to offer competitive pricing or absorb higher input costs. Even older Americans are affected. Many who thought they'd be enjoying retirement are instead returning to the workforce. With fixed incomes being outpaced by inflation and Social Security adjustments lagging behind true cost increases, retirees find themselves seeking part-time jobs or freelance work to supplement their income. The notion of a restful retirement is becoming more elusive for the aging population. Healthcare affordability continues to be a crisis. Even those with insurance often struggle with high deductibles, limited provider networks, and surprise bills. Prescription drug prices remain a major issue, especially for those with chronic conditions. Delayed or foregone care due to cost can lead to worse health outcomes and ultimately higher costs down the line. The job market is transforming rapidly. Automation and artificial intelligence are streamlining entire industries, displacing workers from logistics, customer service, and manufacturing roles. While new jobs are emerging in tech and AI-related fields, they often require specialized training that's not widely accessible. Existing retraining programs struggle with underfunding and outreach, leaving many without clear paths to transition. Geopolitical issues continue to send shockwaves through the economy. Trade disputes, sanctions, and supply chain disruptions have made essential goods more expensive and less predictable. Energy markets are volatile due to international tensions, and businesses are struggling to adapt their sourcing strategies. These ripple effects often hit consumers first and hardest. And finally, the climate crisis is no longer a distant threat. It's a daily reality. Extreme weather events are affecting agriculture, infrastructure, and housing. Insurance premiums have risen sharply in areas prone to disasters, and food prices fluctuate based on environmental disruptions. These climate-related costs compound the existing financial burdens on American families. So what can you do? Reassess your budget with a critical eye towards separating needs from wants. Use digital tools to track your expenses and spot patterns. Focus on reducing high-interest debt first. It's the most expensive. Seek out community-based resources from financial coaching to local relief programs. If you can, diversify your income through side work or upskilling. And most importantly, remember this isn't your fault. The system is under strain, and so many others are in the same boat. Thanks for watching this extended episode of CENTSHIFT. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need clarity and encouragement. Subscribe for weekly insights that decode the financial landscape and empower you to make smarter moves. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared.